Okay, my wife and myself are doing a series of Let's Play videos, and we're doing some dungeon crawler games right now. She just did, of course, Torchlight 2, which is a fantastic game. I mean, a great game to play if you've played Diablo games before. But some of you might look at Minecraft Dungeons and think, this is a kid's game. It actually is a pretty darn good game for what it is. And if you play single player mode activate on this, it is actually quite challenging, even if you're on the lower level. But there's some convenience to playing a game like this, especially if you play something like Diablo or Neverwinter, Baldur's Gate, etc. It might seem kind of juvenile and novice in comparison, but if you're a true down-home dungeon crawler fan, you're going to just be hooked. But let's go to a mission select right now and see what we have here.
You might want to turn the volume down a little bit.
And I'll turn the volume down a little bit here, so I don't scream into the mic here.
This one's a little loud. First of all...
We're going to go to mission select.
No, first of all...
And that's my wife talking. She's playing the game as well. And I have to say, personally, I like the music in this game. The last time I played a game that had music similar to this was actually Phantasy Star Online V1 and V2 for Dreamcast and, of course, GameCube, etc. I mean, it really just sets the mood, roasts the real music, out of place, out of time, and it just makes it's a great game to play, especially with some of the crazy stuff going on in the world. So we picked this game up for $20 US. I mean, you could spend $10 for like the Hero expansion pack, and you can have a pet chicken. And by the way, she had a pet chicken when she was a kid, and it was named Chicken, but some neighbors stole it and did the worst with it, nefarious things. If you know what I mean, it ate the chicken.
They ate my chicken.
You don't take a kid's chicken, named Chicken, and eat their chicken. It just doesn't work like that.
Everything here with a check mark, I've done already. And this game is surprisingly difficult for what it is.
See, Kiki agrees. You can change your difficulty level here on the levels, and the higher difficulty you have, the better your gear and artifact loot drops, etc. are.
However, it's ridiculous. It's hard. I'm going to play it on this one just to show. Because I haven't beat this yet. Because it's surprisingly hard.
Even when I played like Harmony of Despair for Castlevania, playing single player mode activated in that game for PS3, Xbox 360 was incredibly hard. I mean, you almost had to be a noob for a hot minute just so people could help you get enough gear. And especially if you don't have the Sonic boots where you can run around fast, everybody's like, what are you doing? What are you hanging back there? But I did like the game because every time you beat a stage, no matter where you were in the stage, everybody got a loot drop. And I kind of did a little bit of an exploit where I played 4-player mode activate offline. And I had 3 controllers sitting there just in limbo at the beginning stage, and I did the entire stage by myself. When I did the download content stage 10, which is essentially the entirety of Castlevania 1, which I didn't realize until I got it, you take on Dracula, who's straight from the original Castlevania 1. And I got some incredible loot drops. I got all the best loot drop in the game, including the very fast blazing Wolverine type swords. Okay.
And P.S. In this game, if you get arrows and you're using a ranged weapon, you want to pick up any arrows that you get because you're gonna need them. And you don't want to run out, because then you're really up a creek.
The color.
It doesn't look like it right now, but when there's a board, it gets...
Your heart meter in the middle can definitely drain down really fast when you get to the fray action. But the lighting effects are absolutely phenomenal here. They did a great job. It feels just like a game I would typically have played on PC with the dynamic lighting effects here. Yep. And I'm the type of person who also plays like even like Crusader Last Century and such. I would not Crusader Last Century. I'm thinking of the game Crusader No Remorse on PS1, which had kind of an overhead map like that as well. And that TNT, make sure you're not in the blast radius. The first time she used it, she was in the blast radius and decimated herself. We did Torchlight 2, and we're now doing Minecraft Dungeons, and I personally think both Torchlight 2 and Minecraft Dungeons are both worth the $20 US, respectively. I mean, they're fun games that you definitely get a good dozen hours of gameplay out of. And the fact that you can do multiplayer on games like this makes it even cooler. And we're catching up on some Netflix and, of course, other shows. I finished Future Man, like I said, and I was trying to move on to other shows. I went back to Star Trek Picard, and it kind of disappointed me. I mean, we even got the CBS trial to watch that and other shows, and I have to say, I'm not comprehending this. We were on the CBS app, legitimately watching stuff, and it would always lag. Yeah, we had no trouble on Hulu, Amazon Prime, nothing else, but on CBS it always lagged. And on top of that, we had commercials, so we just got rid of it until they fixed that thing up. But Picard was disappointing overall. It felt like a watered-down version of Blade Runner, circa without even having Harrison Ford in it. We need our Harrison Ford or our Daryl Hannah, or even the awesome actor who played the original villain in it. What was that actor's name again? Who played the villain in Blade Runner? His name's escaping me right now. Oh, Rutger Hauer. Yes, he was such a great actor. I loved him in the movie called Hitcher with C. Thomas Howell. And it also shared a similar plotline to one of Steven Spielberg's earlier movie with the crazy trucker, Duel. And they done homages to like Duel and many other movies, including like Buster Loose with Richard Pryor. I mean, you almost always see that type of element there. But yes, the game seems like it's not really incredibly difficult, but you can have a horde of enemies just overwhelm you at any given moment. What's that noise going on in the background?
That's the little guy on my back. He's my golden key. He's gonna run away if I don't put him here.
That looks like one of them memes where they have like... Is that like the onion from Parappa the Rapper riding around on your back?
Doesn't it look like him?
It's the Parappa the Rapper onion telling you to go kick, kick, punch, punch, left, right, all that stuff. Unfortunately, on the mini classics, Parappa the Rapper doesn't really run that well because of latency issues. You might play a song or two, and then by the time you're to the third song, the latency is a little bit odd. I'm gonna try to fix that up and see if I can get them games running even better, because Parappa the Rapper were always like the predecessor to games like Rock Band and Guitar Hero, etc. And of course, Harmonix has made other games similar music rhythm games even before that. These dungeons are actually quite long. It can take you a good 15 to 30 minutes to get through an entire dungeon. So I kind of like Torchlight 2 because you can do like a quick 5 to 10 minute session.
Here, I'm gonna die. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
See, your health went way down here. We're playing a game that's, I mean, we played Torchlight 2 and she didn't even get close to dying because she was pretty powered up with her battle kit. But here, she almost lost all her health even in the first 5 minutes of playing this.
Come back to the circle.
But you see the graphics are awesome, and what disappoints me is there's a great Gauntlet game on PS4 and PC. It was meant to be on Xbox One as well, but by then the IP rights were bought up by Warner Brothers, who owns most of the Midway properties right now. And I think they must have done some budget cut because they told the development team to not proceed any further with the Xbox One port. I would have loved to see Gauntlet on Xbox One, but it will probably never happen. In fact, I would love to see even Gauntlet Dark Legacy as a downloadable game on Xbox One, Switch, or PS4, because that is still one of my top favorite games of all time. Along with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and, of course, games like that.
Remember when I said, make sure you top up on arrows, you're gonna need them?
And by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, if you like quirky stuff, I mean, Doom Patrol Season 1 was fun. Season 2 actually started out with a nice bang. Had some villains I never even really knew about. I mean, we all know about our characters like Oh no. We all know about our villains such as Apocalypse and Darkseid from, of course, the DC and Marvel universes. But there's some villains in Doom Patrol which we never even heard of before, and it's kind of interesting, like Mr. Nobody and what was the candle guy's name? Candlemaker. I mean, these are villains that we didn't really know about. Candlemaker is kind of a cool villain, and the villain Candlemaker in Doom Patrol is almost like a horror movie in itself, better than half the horror movies that have been coming out recently. I was kind of looking interested into this kind of a dark comedy horror movie that was supposed to come out, but due to some of the worldwide situations, such as COVID-19, it kind of got delayed for a while. It's called Psycho Gorman. I mean, check out the trailer for Psycho Gorman. It looks like something right out of ABC's A Death 1 or 2. And I was wondering what was happening to it. It got delayed, and then Shudder, the horror streaming service, bought it up, and it's going to have a limited theatrical release. This is going to show up on Shudder next year. But basically, it's about an intergalactic alien. Think of it like an intergalactic alien, kind of like from the movie, the original Critters movies. But the two kids, like sister and brother, have complete control over it, and they're able to do with it what they want. And it's a very, very violent movie. I mean, and it's funny because it initiates initials for, oh look, the Slender Man's in the game. Did you make it past Slender Man last time?
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't Slender.
Just remember, I'm playing this on not the normal. This is supposed to be half the, not half, but a slightly less difficulty, and it just.
Oh, Kirby's taking our chest. Come on, Kirby.
Back here.
So when Slender Man kind of disappoints me, there we go, he died. But I'll say one more thing before we quit this video. I mean, Slender Man kind of disappointed me because they actually had more of a direct-to cut of the movie, but because two girls, schoolgirls in real life, did a real-life crime, perpetuated a real-life crime on the basis of what they saw in the movie. Because of Slender Man, they edited the movie down, butchered it down, took multiple minutes out of the movie, and now it is absolutely incomprehensible. You cannot watch the movie and understand whatsoever until they actually do an uncut version of it. But come on, we can get past this part. We can do this. We can do this. But yes, you might see this game and think this game is easy, but she's playing on a slightly lower difficulty. Still got overtaken by these crazy amounts of enemies here. It's crazy. We got this. And we got the TNT dynamite going into the mix there.
Now I get a TNT when I don't flip and eat it.
And AC/DC always rolls everything. I mean, AC/DC makes movies such as Iron Man better. And of course, Maximum Overdrive, that really, really corny movie back in the 80s. Which is a great, great movie, though. I love that movie. It's about the killer trucks. And I believe that story, Trucks, was actually in the Stephen King book called Night Gallery, along with many, many other stories. Such as, of course, the vampire one he did as well. And I have to say, like, more recently, like, I've never really been a true fan of the original Shining movie. It took me a while to appreciate it. It took movies like, watching stuff like 1408 with John Cusack, and then watching the more recent pseudo-sequel to, what was it? The Sleep movie. What was it called again?
Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, Dr. Sleep is actually a sequel to, of course, Shining. And I have to say, I didn't really enjoy the original Shining, but I absolutely, really, really enjoyed Dr. Sleep. It was an incredible movie. Really, really awesome. It's going to be on my classics to watch. So if you have not seen Dr. Sleep yet, watch it. It is an excellent, excellent movie. And we started watching the other series that was done by Stephen King's son called Nosferatu. And if you look at the letters, you'd pronounce it differently, but just enunciate it, and it's actually Nosferatu. Kind of like when you do Alucard backwards for Castlevania. It is definitely Dracula's son. But very, very cool. I mean, what are we on, the last life right now?
Yeah.
Find the tomb. How are you gonna find the tomb if you're in the tomb already?
Well, what happens is I find the tomb, and then when I find the tomb, I gotta battle a boss that I will die, and then I'll have to restart the level over. But like I said, I'm playing on a lower difficulty, but it's still not as easy. It's a surprisingly difficult game for what it is.
Speaking of tombs, I mean, we're big fans of horror movies in general. We actually went and just randomly decided to watch Tom Cruise's Mummy movie, which was supposed to be kind of like a thing getting a whole like classic monster series going. Like obviously they did one with the werewolf already, the Wolfman. But then they were supposed to do like the Mummy and then move on to other ones like Frankenstein's monster, but it didn't really do well. I mean, the Mummy with Tom Cruise was a critical box office failure. But it kind of reminded me a little bit of watching Queen of the Damned, which also did not do too well. And Queen of the Damned holds up really well. It was a great Elia movie. I mean, it was a great movie, and it's still fun to watch nowadays. Great bomb-ass soundtrack as well.
This is how we're gonna die.
No. Survive the ambush.
This ambush.
Hey, what the hell's going on there?
Garbage.
Stay at a distance.
I'm going to run out of arrows.
Leroy Jenkins!
No, I'm gonna run out of arrows.
It'd be kind of funny if you were able to do like a game like this and you were able to do one-on-one like dungeon crawler games against a team versus a team, and you're playing against a team of Leroy Jenkins who just rushed into the fray prematurely.
And this is where I die.
No, what's your health? Move out of the way. You need battle cam from Torchlight 2, that would take care of things here.
Holy shit.
Oh no! She got that S word in there, the S bomb.
Sorry! I apologize.
Not like when we watch the show, South Park, and he did the cop show episode where he said the S word 100+ times.
How did you die?
Because I don't know if you realize this, a lot of bad words, they don't even make it able to be actually like precedent to be into normalcy until they actually show up in like doctor shows like ER or like NYPD Blue. I believe NYPD Blue was one of the first shows to be able to use the S word and get away with it. And once they do it, they pass the censorship. Because even like George Carlin was actually one of the pioneers to even get like F-bombs and such into his comedy acts, but back then when he was doing it, they were either fining him or arresting him. Yes, at one point when you did a comedy show, you might drop an F-bomb and then afterwards you're taken off in handcuffs. But him and Lenny Bruce did the foray into doing that type of more dirty humor, and it worked because we got many other greats like Richard Pryor who went on. I mean, we have nowadays the political correctness makes it a little bit harder to get some humor, but it is still there on some comedians. But yes, Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, they started this dirty humor type thing. And then of course we got into stuff where we had the silly nature of the one-liners with, of course, other comedians, which really worked out as well, like Rodney Dangerfield, no respect, God rest his soul. He was a great comedian. Love them in Back to School. I mean, that movie never gets old. The triple Lindy for the win. So we'll be closing up shop here. I'm really hoping she can, oh no, don't die.
Yeah, this is what happened.
Damn Slender Man. And we have not even tried to watch Slender Man yet because of how bad and incomprehensible the reviews have made it out to be. But I almost want to try to give Slender Man a watch. No, don't die. Move away!
Can't.
The Slender Man took us out.
Like I said, it's surprisingly difficult for what it is, and you wouldn't think it would be, but it is.
But I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll get more videos out if you enjoy these Let's Play between me and my wife. If you go back a few videos, you'll see her beating my ass in Tekken one-on-one. She's pretty damn good at Tekken. If you ever see her online, stay away from her. But hope you enjoyed the video.